absolutely lovely sunny bright morning this morning, but got up and realised that quails have got red mite. Red mite are tiny little mites, but they can cause a whole heap of problems if you let them get hold. So this is a quick quail maintenance vlog. Hey you guys. So the first thing we're going to do is mix up some chemicals so that we can spray their actual hutch, which we're doing here. So what's that?
So we've used this Ficam W, and it's pretty lethal stuff actually. It's actually for killing cockroaches and stuff like that, but it works really well on red mite. You need a little tiny bit, and you don't want to breathe it in or get it on your hands.
So you may think this is quite extreme for tiny little red mite, but believe it is not. If you start getting red mite, get rid of them as soon as you possibly can. We initially, when we first had chickens, we started with a nice pretty wooden house with a felt roof, and I remade a old Wendy house and painted chickens on the front of it, and it looked very lovely. And it got a red mite infestation, and we read all about it and kind of went, oh, that's fine, we'll just treat it and that'll be okay. And there was various people on the internet saying just burn the house, and we were like, well we tried absolutely everything, and in the end we just got rid of the house. So it really is important to catch it fast, and as soon as you realise you've got red mite, do something about it. Hello Sheldon. These chickens need to go in while we treat the house. Chickens. Be as thorough as you possibly can. The place where red mite will live is in the nooks and crannies, the corners, the little tiny areas. That's where they'll congregate and live.
They'll be in where the doors close, in the hinges, any tiny little crevice. And make sure you treat anything that's wooden in the house.
The house that we are treating here is a 2-level hutch basically, and if you want to keep quails, you can keep them successfully in a hutch. They don't roost like chickens, so they don't need an up area. They like to be on one level. People keep quails at the base of aviaries, that kind of thing, and they're quite happy with that. They like to, as I say, be on one level, and they like to have little dark areas that they can rustle in, and so on and so on. They're sort of hedge animals, birds really. So and flatland birds in a sense. So yeah, that's the kind of environment that they like.
Yeah, so you can keep males and females together, although ideally you only want one male, because they will fight, and they'll fight to the death. They will literally kill each other to fight over their females. So you could have a couple of males together if you've got about, I don't know, 10 females. but ideally just one is best.
Basically now we are really only having quails for their eggs. We only keep females at the moment. If we wanted fertile eggs, which we have done before, and we have done, we've hatched quails, which are really cute. Come out this pretty much the size of a bumblebee, so that's pretty cool. Eggs are this size, beautiful little speckled eggs. Yeah, so they really are vicious when they fight. We've come to check on the quails before when we had a lot of males, and literally, I mean, it's pretty horrible, but like they've had their head hanging off because they will just go for it. They're really quite violent little monsters when they want to be. But the females are really fine and live together harmoniously, and they can be pretty friendly actually. If you leave them alone, they tend to not be so, but if you handle them a bit, they can be quite friendly. Okay, so that's all sprayed.
Yeah, we'll just leave this now. It's a nice hot day, so that shouldn't take too long to dry out. Before they go back, it's got to be completely dry because it would kill them if they ingested it.
We've sectioned that area off so that the chickens hopefully won't go into that area, so they can come back out again. The chickens are kind of looking a little bit grubby at the moment, but purely because it's a time when they are molting. So at this point they're molting, so they're sort of losing feathers, growing new ones. And it's worth noting that sometimes that can affect laying. So often when they've got a heavy molt, they won't lay. So that's worth bearing in mind, because our egg amount goes way down. We've left it over 24 hours since we took the quails out and treated the house. It's important to let it dry, absolutely, because as we said before, the stuff is dangerous to the quails, so should be pretty dry by now.
So we're going to put some DE powder in the hutch, and this also kills the red mite, although it's not effective enough to stop an infestation. So, but it does help. We'll just make sure it's in all the nooks and crannies. This doesn't hurt the birds at all. You can actually put it in the food if you like, as like a wormer. So over here you can see those little speckles, and that's dead red mite. And if you squish them, you can see that they're full of blood that they've actually sucked from the birds.
Red mite are left to their own devices, they will really seriously have an effect on the birds, and in fact they can kill them, because what they'll do is just keep sucking their blood. And what they tend to do is that once at night, basically, they come out all those nooks and crannies and crevices, and they cover the bird and they basically suck them dry. Not very pleasant. And they become anemic, the birds, and eventually, as I say, they will kill them.
We're using straw as bedding for the quails. You can use sawdust or like wood shavings, which is great, but I find that they get really bad toe balls if you use wood shavings. So, but we'll have a look at that in a minute when we put the quails back.
So we're just filling up the house with the straw, and they like it really deep because they huddle into it as though they were in, you know, the hedgerows or the I guess they're like as if they were in some kind of heather or something like that. They crouch in and they feel really comfortable. I'm not sure where the saying chicken as in being a chicken as in being scared comes from, because actually chickens notoriously allegedly known for being scared, they're actually pretty robust, and a chicken is much more curious than scared most of the time. So if you're doing anything and there's chickens about, the likelihood is they'll come and see you and see what you do. As you might be able to see, these pellets are really tiny, and that's because they are partridge or game food pellets, rather than standard chicken layers pellets or growers pellets. They're much smaller, and that's what you should be feeding a quail. To grab the quails from their temporary abode and put them back into their treated house on the way past the ducklings. Let me have a look. Said chickens are curious, and we're just going to grab the quails, and we'll gone for just a second. Just that was a good shot. Oh, by the way, it's worth mentioning that quail's poo is really super stinky. Such a small creature. Quails and ducks, chickens isn't so bad in comparison. Right, so we've got a quail. Obviously, when you're holding it, you hold the wings tight in, and all we're doing basically is kind of checking it over, basically just making sure it's okay. They will potentially kind of peck you and nip you if they so wish, but generally speaking, it doesn't hurt. They're pretty good, pretty calm. As long as you're calm, in general, most of the birds, if you're calm, they're going to be reasonably calm. So we'll check them over. We'll have a look up under its wings, and we'll look at its feet.
So the feet are really good on this one. Sometimes they have a problem with toe balls, which is basically any muck forms a ball on their toes, and if you don't sort it out, they literally their toe can fall off. So yeah, you really need to keep an eye on that. You'll see that the quail's gone really docile since I've held it upside down. It's like it's gone to sleep, so it's really calm.
So with a lot of birds you find that as well. With chickens, if you hold them upside down, they will become very, very docile. Same with quails. And allegedly, I think with sharks, but we don't have any of them.
So as you can see, if I put this one next to this one, they're, you might be able to see they're slightly different colours. So this one's really dark brown. It's still a Japanese quail. And what we've found when breeding the quails is that the dark brown ones are usually male, weirdly enough, and also really, really aggressive. But she's this one is a female, and she's really chilled out.
As you can see here, she's a Japanese quail, but she's a nice white one. Like chickens and a lot of birds really, the quails will also dust bathe. So if you do get plenty of dust in their home, they will have a little dust bathe. They are all back inside safe and sound. They seem pretty happy, they'll just settle in. So what we've done is completely treated their home, and hopefully they'll be red mite free.